Hey everybody, welcome back. This is Miss Faye, and this is my world. Okay, I stumbled upon a podcast just the other day, and I thought I'd speak on it to you because this particular person has influenced a lot of people. Now, when I first laid eyes on the person, I got a funny feeling. And then as I heard him speak, I knew he was a narcissist. A narcissist that's influencing people is dangerous. And I'm going to tell you, this guy started off apparently grooming men. He's grooming men to be high value men. Okay. And his definition, from what I understood, of high value is a man's success. You know, what he brings to the table, you know, the money he makes, his appearance. It always has to be professional way or whatever. But it's all material. You see, that's narcissistic. That's narcissistic. That does not make a valuable person. The value is not without. The value is within. So it makes no difference whether he's in overalls or a $5,000 suit. It's what's within that should matter to women. So he's telling the men, he's grooming the men with his narcissistic traits. That's what he's doing. He's grooming the men to be little narcissists like him. Now remember, the narcissist is an evil spirit. He's possessed with an evil spirit. And he knows how to tweak information. Just a little bit of truth and a little bit of a lie. Okay? So now since he's, I guess, finished with the men, got them all on track, now he comes for the women. This narcissist has the nerve to devalue women right out front. And I'm going to tell you what I mean by that. He's putting women in a class. You either a number 10, a 9, a 8, a 5, a 6, a 7, a 1, whatever. He's telling women online, oh, well, you just a number 4. How you expect to get a high value man? That's wrong. That's narcissistic. Do not take advice from a narcissist. It's a lie. It's a lie. Number one, you women who feel like you need a man, that's a very poor position to be in. You don't want to need anyone. You want to love yourself and to be able to take care of yourself without any help from anybody else. Because when you need somebody else, they have that power over you. They have that power over you. Now, this particular dating guru, I put it in quotes, guru, he's devaluing these women. A lot of them, they're looking for husbands, and some of them have children, and he's telling them because they have children, it brings their value down, and the best they can do is get this kind of man. Listen. number one, don't ever put yourself in that position. And if you are in that position, you need to work your way out of that. You don't want to need a man to survive. Ever. Ever. That's one reason these men are treating women the way that they are. And guys like this narcissist, because I hear he's dead now, but he was spreading this poison for a long time. For a long time. And you know, he's grooming the men, you know, in his narcissistic traits so that they can look at women like dollar signs. Everything was about the money. Everything. So he's telling you that you need to be a high valued woman, which means that, you know, in his eyes, it's about the money. So you need to have your doctorate or be a doctor or whatever if you want a man like that. Listen, you can attract a man like that. You can attract a man like that if you have nothing. But what you need to be looking at is not the external. Don't look at the external. You want to look inside a person. You want to see where their heart is, where their values are, where their integrity is. Not if he can go and buy the most expensive suit and he's styling you know, a big fancy car. Tell you a story. I lived in New York for 20 years, right in the city. And I dated some very wealthy men. Let me tell you something. There's a lot of strings that goes along with that. Yeah. I was asked to marry. I refused. Because I love myself. I am not about to be a slave to some man. And you should neither. I don't care how much you have. If you have a little bit, you can make it a lot. You have the power within you. Don't let men make you believe that you have no value. No value. And that's what they're doing. These narcissists already got you out there making yourself up until you're unrecognizable to attract him because he wants you to look like a doll, some kind of Betty Boop doll or something like that. That's a narcissist. They're steering you down the wrong path. And that's why you're miserable. And this man, this guru, boasts that how many marriages have come out of his counseling. I'd like to know how many marriages are still together out of his counseling. You understand? I was a photographer for many years, since, you know, once in a while, even now, I would do a job or two. But I did a lot of weddings. And I was savvy enough to have people to pay me when I show up on the job. I don't wait until the pictures and the albums and all of that. Pay me when I show up. Let me tell you something. By the time the pictures and the album came, a lot of them were separated already. You see? And these were people who had big fancy jobs. The same thing that this dating guru is talking about. Getting married. Getting married. I'm going to talk to the ladies because I'm about women empowerment. That's what I'm about. So, number one is, we're going to talk about the women who have the degrees of whatever, all the accolades, you're making a large salary, you know, you good. You good. Okay. Unless you plan to have children, and even then you can think about it. Why do you need, I don't want to hurt nobody's feelings, so that's why I'm kind of hesitating. Why is your mission in life to marry? If you can take care of yourself and take care of any children that you bear, what do you need a master coming in there telling you what to do for? What do you need it for? Now, I understand, you know, you would like to have a companion, and there's nothing wrong with that. And believe me, I love men, so don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I love men. But the thing about it is, men have gotten so far away from what they are supposed to be when it comes to women. Men are supposed to protect, profess, and provide for you. Not the other way around. You're not supposed to try to meet him head to head. What do you got, a business partnership? This is what, when I heard this dating guru, it was all about the money. Everything. This narcissist apparently never healed from some things that he went through, so now he's bitter. So now he's teaching men to be more narcissistic and teaching women to be more submissive. No, that's wrong. You don't need to submit to anybody about anything if you work on yourself and love yourself. And love yourself. And I don't care what you look like, what your skin color is, you know, or any of that. You have value. And let no man tell you don't, and put you on a scale of 1 to 10. That's ridiculous. That, you know, that is all narcissistic. And it's the system. It's the system we live in. And it's no denying it that whiteness is the standard of beauty in the system that we live in right now. Whiteness is the standard of beauty. So, with that standard, now, I'm going to talk to the black men. Black men feel if they are working to get that high value, you see, then that's why they go to the white woman, because whiteness is the standard of beauty. And they don't care. She could be as poor can be, but she's white. Now you are out here looking for people like that. You don't want that. You don't want him. I don't care what he has. You don't want him because, number one, he's going to cheat. He doesn't love you at all. Men today are not even taught to respect women anymore. They don't respect you anymore. Now, they'll pretend to respect you in the beginning when they were trying to get in your pants. Open doors and all of that, and what do you like, and all. Then you get, in the beginning, you might get the man that you think you're going to get until he has sex with you. And then you'll start seeing who he really is. Women, don't be desperate to marry. Number one, you're just going to end up being a slave to the man. I don't care if you work hard as he does. He's still going to expect for you to take care of his home and take care of him. And if you have children, it's your obligation to take care of them too. Sound like slave labor to me. That's what it sounds like to me. And then you got to take whatever he wants to dish out because he's king of everything. He's king of everything. Society makes you feel like women and religion. Look at this. Religion is pouring into you to get married. Get married. Before your time run out, get married. Let me tell you, and you need a husband if you want to have children. I'm going to be honest with you. This channel is about truth. You see, I'm going to be truthful about me, and the information I give you is as truthful as I know it is. And because I have experienced a lot in my life, and I took the wrong path a lot of times, I tell you so you don't go down that road. Because it's no different for me, you, or anybody else. You just have to try to make the right decisions. Don't let men tell you your worth. Don't let them. How are they going to tell you what you're worth? Just because you got kids and you don't have a husband, they're going to tell you that you're not worth much. If you go to any counselor, anybody that tells you that you need to walk away, don't listen, because that's a lie. That's a lie. You came here with gifts from the universe when you were born, aspirations, things you want to do with your life. But somehow you just got turned on the wrong path. And to tell you about women with children, don't you feel bad because you got kids and you don't have a man there, or the one that's there is no good. Don't feel bad about that. Number one, if it's a man there that's no good, you need to kick him out and start standing on your own 2 feet. Children are a blessing. I don't care how many you got. They're a blessing. And don't let a man come and tell you just because you got 3 kids, you damaged goods. That's a lie. That's a lie. That's a lie. And you don't have to run out here and try to get your degree and all of that so you can find a husband. That's ridiculous. There's a lot of people with degrees that are miserable. If they're still with the spouse, miserable. In big houses and fancy, looking great on the outside, and it's hell on earth on the inside. Believe that. And then there are people who don't have as much and are happy as larks. It's people in big houses that are happy as larks too. I don't want you to get it confused. It's your choice. This is where your free will comes in. It's always your choice. The universe presents you with choices, and it's up to you to go which way you want to go. Women, don't let anybody make you feel bad if you have kids and you don't have a husband. And I know I went that way, but I want to say something about that. Most times, you have those kids without a man because you trusted a man. You trusted him. And he just didn't work out. He left you holding the bag. Okay? My advice to you is, don't put yourself in a position to have children unless you know that you can afford them on your own. Don't put yourself in a position. Because remember, men only want sex. They're not trying to have children. When they meet you, they just want sex. Now, after they marry you, they may want children. You see? That's different. But when you're out here dating, don't have children unless you can afford them on your own income. Now, a lot of women, and I'm going to say this, and you know it's true. There are women out here who will have children just to hook a man. You'll try to have it. 9 times out of 10, because you think this man can make your life better if you hook him with a baby. You just trapped yourself. You trying to trap him, and you got caught up in the trap yourself. You see? Because now you bonded to this man. You don't even know if he's a good man or not. Oh, you fell for the glitz and the glamour. He could beat your behind every night. He could curse you out. He could embarrass you, disrespect you in any kind of way. And I've seen stuff like that happen. But that's what you thought you wanted. You wanted a, like this guru said, a high value man. That is not high value because what a man has. It's a lot of narcissists that's got a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. And if you're going for that, let me tell you, whatever you ask for in your heart, you're saying you want a high value man. You want that. The universe bring it to you. He'll bring it to you. But it'll be up to you to say yes or no. When I was in New York, I wasn't spiritual or anything. I dated a lot of people. But when it came to those types of men, I was turned off right away. I wasn't impressed by money or status. I was raised with money. I was cut off because I didn't comply with the narcissist's program. But money didn't and does not impress me. What impresses me is a genuine person. You see? And when it came down to it, and these men are telling me, I know one man told me I had, when I was in New York, I was raising my boys. I had 3 boys. And he had the nerve to tell me, talking about, he took me where we was going to live and, you know, all in the richy places and all this kind of nonsense. And he tells me, now listen, you going to need to have my baby. That's number 1. And number 2 is we can take your youngest son with us. Well, what the hell am I supposed to do with my other 2 kids? That's crazy. But believe me, some women go for it because they want to live in a big house. No. If a man is telling you that right now, believe me, you're going to be under his foot for the rest of your life. For the rest of your life. Your kids are a blessing. Not only to you, they're a blessing to the universe. And it's your job to protect them. You don't just run out here trying to find a husband and a stepfather for them kids. No. Number 1, you may get a man that mistreats your kids. It's a lot of men that'll come in there and they'll have you to have a baby. And then they'll mistreat the other kids that's not his. And you putting up with it. Just to have him around. No, ladies. Don't do that. The narcissist is out here influencing the way that we all live. Man's job is to profess his love for women, to protect them, and to provide for them. That is not the woman's job. When you don't have a man, you need to do all that. And you do all that if you have a man. Because I tell women, even if you do have a man, make sure you got your security blanket somewhere that he doesn't know anything about it. Because you can't trust him. You can't trust him. I know women that have been with men 50 years, their whole life, taking care of this man. Let her get sick or something. He'll be right out there. He'll be right out there at the bar, at the club. Of course, now it's online. Looking online for him a replacement. Because you was just a maid, a servant for him. Now, I'm not going to say that all men are like this. I'm not going to say that. But all the men that I have ever come in contact were. All the men that I hear about with other women are. And it doesn't matter what status they're in. From the richest to the poorest, the same thing. Because men are beginning to feel that they are the ones of value and you are not. They telling you that you got to be educated and you got to be a 10, you got to be beautiful and all the ramifications that goes with that. And nobody said, none of the men said you need to be intelligent. None of them said that. None of them said. You ask me, they want you with the big boobs, they want you with the big behind, and you can be stupid as a can of paint. Because they're just going to use you anyway. They're just going to use you for their benefit. I don't care about you as a person. I don't care about your thoughts of what you want to do. Now the narcissist, he'll care what you want to do because he's going to stop it. He don't want you to do nothing but what he directs you to do. These other men, they're going down the wrong path, following the narcissist. They believe that because the narcissist has achieved all these things with his narcissistic ways, his lies, his cheating, his stealing, his all of that, he's achieved all these things you can see, these things you can touch. But he has no heart. He doesn't care about people. Doesn't care about the man, doesn't care about the woman. He only cares about himself. So he projects this out. The demon is always trying to gather souls. And to get you in a desperate situation. A desperate situation. The men, they don't even know what to look for in a woman anymore. So they look for the visual. They don't know what to look for anymore. And the women, same thing. Now you want to look for the visual. What he looks like. I know this one fella was getting ready to get married to this woman. And I asked him, I said, so, what is it that you really like about this woman? You know what he said to me? I think she's a millionaire. Wait a minute. There's something wrong. You getting ready to marry a person because you think she's a millionaire? Is that the reason why you marry somebody? Because of what they have, you thinking it can benefit you? Not that you're trying to do anything for the woman. He never said, Oh, she is a nice person. Very generous, very kind. Never did he say that. And I really care about her. Never said that. I hear she's a millionaire. Ladies, wake up. Wake up. If you feel like you want to be married, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not talking against that. But don't need to be married. That's the issue. Don't need to be married. Because if you need to be married and you're getting yourself in a bad situation, you'll find it very difficult to walk out. Very difficult. But if you're with somebody because you want to be with them and they start acting up, you can walk out anytime you're ready. And the universe wants you to walk out. Now, for me, I stayed with my first husband for 7 years. Because, I grew up in a religious family. And they believe when you marry somebody, you're supposed to stay with them, like you say in the wedding vows, from better or worse. They believe that. And there's a lot of people in the church staying there for worse. Believe me. But one day, I said, I'm better than this. I'm not going to take it anymore. And I gathered up my 3 kids. And I walked out to begin a life on my own. And I wasn't afraid either, because anything was better than what I was going through. Now, I didn't get help from my family because I didn't comply. You see? So I was on my own in New York City with 3 kids. So, you ladies who feel like you can't do it and, it's hard, I don't have any money. I've been poor. I know what it is to be poor. I've been there. I've been in a lot of situations, believe me. But only until I heal from the negativity and the pain that my life started to change for the better. It just got better and better and better. And that's how your life can change. Don't let everybody tell you, you don't need a man. You're setting yourself up. If you desire a man, a partner in your life, number one, you want him to be your best friend. Somebody that you can trust. Somebody you can be totally honest with. Make sure that he's totally honest with you too. That you're not being set up. Somebody that you haven't slept with as soon as you meet him. You waited. You need to wait at least a year. So you really know that this person is for you. This person will protect you. Will support you in your dreams and your aspirations. That's what you need. That's what you should want. Support. Love. Real love. Not this fake stuff like what you see on TV. That's not love. That's lust. That's lust. And these narcissists are panning it off like it's love. And women are falling for it. That's not love at all. It's pure lust. Remember, lust is one of the 7 deadly sins. Lust. Now, men, again, if they never come back to being men, with providing for women, protecting women, and all of that, if they never come back, let them go on their way. Because a lot of them are sleeping with each other anyway. Even those high value men that guru was talking about, they out there sleeping with each other. And you trying to build yourself up running after her husband. Now, I know you say, well, if I have children, they need a male influence. That's all well and good if the man is a decent human being. It's not good if he's an evil person. It's not good. My first husband was terrible, wanted to fight all the time. I didn't want my boys raised up around that. They didn't need that kind of male influence. My boys would have grown up beating women if I had stayed with him, thinking that's the way a man is supposed to act. No. And, for me, it wasn't scary for me to walk out. I was done. I stayed 7 years living in hell because my father, who was a spiritual leader, says, no, you married him, you got to stay with him. That's a lie. That's a lie. The universe doesn't want you to stay in misery. The universe wants you to be happy. Happy. You see? Be careful going to these counselors and these marriage counselors, all of them. A lot of them come from terrible situations themselves, and they're bitter. And they're projecting that onto you, trying to mold you into something that I guess they think is a good thing, but it leaves you feeling some kind of way. I know when I heard him speak, I was feeling some kind of way right off. I'm like, and he was streaming, I guess, and he's talking to these women on there, and you can see, and he's picking at them and shaming them and criticizing them, and you can see on their face they're just trying not to be angry and understand what he's saying. But don't subject yourself to that. That's wrong. They should be giving you something that makes you a better human being. Something for you. Not grooming you for some man. You don't need to be groomed for a man at all. If a man wants to be with you, let him groom himself. Let him groom himself. And I tell you, ladies, if you start realizing how valuable you are, whether you got 10 kids, divorced, widowed, never been married, whatever, you are valuable right where you are. And never let a man tell you you're not. And it doesn't matter what you look like. Don't let them put you on the scale. 10, you a 5, you a 4. Yeah. No. You're all 10s. You're all 10s. The universe only makes 10s. These are narcissists controlling you and making you feel that you're nothing. That's what the narcissists do. They destroy you inside. They destroy your soul. They bring you down and make you feel bad. Give you no hope. You see? That's the narcissist. Try to be awake and alert so that you can spot them right off and you don't fall into their traps. Fall into their traps. If you're listening to somebody that leaves you in confusion, they're not transparent with who they are, but they want you to be transparent with who you are. That's the narcissist that does that. You understand? Narcissists do that. They very rarely tell you all about themselves. You have to find that out on your own. But they want to know all of your business, and then they'll throw it back in your face. Well, this is why you can't find a man. This is why you don't need to be out here trying to find a man anyway. The man needs to be out here trying to find you. Find you. Let me tell you something. As old as I am, there are plenty of men trying to hit on me. So don't tell me that men not out there trying to hit on you. It's just that you need to clear your vision. Clear your vision so you can clearly see that all that glitters is not golden. And don't let anybody tell you, oh, well, you know, you have this little man that comes around and helps you out or whatever. Well, you ain't going to be, you understand? I was in a situation like that too. I was raising my kids, and we had some hard times, and this little man came. He just came out of the blue. And he said, do you want me? And so I was with a girlfriend, and she said it as a joke. She said, yeah, say yeah, say yeah. And so I said, well, okay. It's a nice little man, but it wasn't the man I was looking for. He wasn't the man I was looking for. You see? So I was with the little man and everything, but I was still looking for that high value man, that man, you see. But every time I met that man, he mistreated me, where this little man never did. He never did. He came, and we went out, we had breakfast together, and he'd tell all kind of jokes and laugh and talk and all kind of nice things. Never fought. Everything was pleasant. And if I got in a jam, he was always there to help me out of the jam, get me back on my feet. He never disrespected me, ever. But the high value men did. Those men did. And it wasn't just because I had kids either. It was because they felt like I needed them because of what they had, what they did. They felt like I needed them. Don't ever get in that situation to where you feel like you need a man, because he would use that against you. Now, the thing about this little man, after I healed, because I didn't treat him as good as I should have. I wasn't spiritual. I was just like everybody else. Somebody come to help you or whatever, you tend to take advantage of it. You see? It was only after I healed and got into spirituality that I understood that the universe sent me an angel. Sent me an angel on earth to help me get on my feet. And because I didn't understand, I took advantage of that. Women, I want you to understand that the universe wants you to be happy, to be prosperous in all things, and not to feel that you're trapped and you can't do any better. You're trapped. No, the universe doesn't want that for you. So never let a man put you in some sort of category and tell you, oh, you a 3, you a 2, you know, she's a 10. That's what a 10 looks like over there. That's a 10. That's a lie. Don't believe it. That's a lie of the narcissist. Do not fall for that. We're all 10s. We're all 10s. So I hope that I covered the subject so that you could understand that until men come back and be the men that they're supposed to be to women, women, shut it down. Shut it down until they do, until they respect you again. You see? Don't fall for, because he come to you on bended knee and we got a ring and he asked you to marry him and all that. Soon after the wedding, you're going to get to see who he really is. And you might not like it. You might not like it at all. You never took the time to look at him from the inside. From the inside. And that's extremely, extremely important to your physical, mental health. So, I think I'm going to end it here. And I certainly hope that I've said something that can help somebody. And I want to thank you again for those comments. Thank you. Just keep them coming. I enjoy reading them. I really do. And, you know, if there's anything that you want me to cover, I know I have gotten some requests and I plan to cover them really soon, those subjects. So I'm going to say goodbye for now and hope to see you next time.